I remember when I first started playing sports, it was soccer initially, and then basketball. I remember the first lessons I kind of learned was basically watching other people play. And then, you end up sort of becoming a product of your environment. We train 3 times a week. The training sessions are 90 minutes a pop. You work out, you go home, and that's it. And then as I kind of got older, I realized I learned, I got exposed to other people in the world. And then I was like, oh, so that guy does 3 training sessions like I do, but then he goes once by himself and he shoots around. And then kind of that became kind of the standard, and I started doing that, and then blah, 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 blah. And then eventually you meet people which are doing even more. You meet people who are doing way more. And then you meet people and you hear about people who are doing things that are not even on the map. I can recall the first time I heard about squat every day, the Bulgarian method. I remember the first time I heard about David Goggins. I remember the first time I learned about Navy SEAL training. I remember the first time I learned about ultra marathon runners, ultras. Man, I used to think that I knew what training was. You know as much as you know. You don't know what you don't know, right? You know what I mean? Like, so, man, if you have the right exposure at the right time, if you're 8 years old and your uncle is David Goggins, right? Think about this. You get exposed to something that extreme at 8 years old. So then when you go to your basketball training when you're 10 and 12 years old, and the coach says, yeah, we're training 90 minutes 3 times a week, and you go, oh yeah, that's cute. That's fine. 3 sessions of 90 minutes, some work there. And then you think to yourself, but my uncle, he runs like 8 hours a day. My uncle does 1,000 damn pull-ups in 24 hours, whatever the hell he did. So then all of a sudden you have this scale, which you can put other things that you hear onto that scale. One of the things that I've kind of learned in my professional environment is this idea of endorphins and pleasure centers and whatnot. So, when we're talking about drugs, say you take a hit of meth for the first time, it completely changes everything you've ever known. Say sex is naturally the best high that we can get naturally. It's a 10 out of 10. When we orgasm, it's 10 out of 10. It's the highest form of emotion or feeling that a natural human body can produce, the orgasm, right? That's the best. Well, you take a hit of meth, and you know how many endorphins more it releases compared to a orgasm? 16-fold the release of feel-good hormones in your body. 16-fold more than an orgasm. That's what meth does. Think about that. So what does that mean? Well, next time you have sex and you orgasm, you're like, this is shit. This is shit. Because I know, I have had experience what 16-fold increase in a good feeling feels like. So this orgasm shit is nothing to me. I need another hit of that stuff, man. I want to feel good in my life. So then you go and get another shot and another shot and another shot. And the cool thing about all of that is that the first shot felt the best. The second shot feels a little bit less and then a little bit less. And then what do people do? They increase the dose. They get more hits, more points. This is why methamphetamine is so damn addictive. It's because the release is like 16-fold. It's something like crazy amount of levels more than what we can naturally experience. This is why this is so addictive. So when you, for the first time, hear something about 3 times 90-minute sessions per week, that's the training that we're going to do this week. In the back of your mind, you're like, my uncle Goggins, David Goggins, he's doing like trillion freaking hours per week of training. And you guys are telling me you want to do 3 sessions of 90 minutes? Now, on the other side of the freaking water, you got Steph Curry growing up, and he's 8 years old, and he's watching Del Curry, his dad, shoot around every single day. Around the NBA ballers, they're training out all the time. One guy's running sand dunes, the other guy's running doing this, doing that, weight room every single day. Everyone's active, everyone's working. And so 20 years on, I'm now 25 years old. Let's just say I'm 25 years old. Steph Curry is 25 years old. Who has more work under their belt? I think, man, I've been working my ass off for years. I've been doing 3 damn sessions for 90 minutes each day. Del Curry, that kid that's, has the uncle David Goggins, he's like, man, you're bullshit. Steph Curry's like, what are you talking about, man? Three sessions of 90 minutes, man. I'll do 3 sessions of 90 minutes per day. Times that by 20 years. What I'm trying to get at is these scales that we have in our minds, these norms are just based on our experience. And somebody, sometimes, always, eventually, somebody pushes the needle. And it shows everybody that, well, it's possible to do more work. And this is how records keep getting broken. It's often said, like, when somebody smashes a record, then 50 people break a record. But getting that first big record to be broken in whatever field, it's like really, really hard. And then somebody does it, and then all of a sudden everyone is running that same time. Everyone's smashing the previous record. It's all about perception. It's all about understanding what's possible, what's real. We're getting to a point that we're kind of really advanced in our society, in our technology, in our way of thinking, that really the only way you can be really good is if you do more than everyone else. And it's getting really kind of, smart. There's so much technology now in sports and fitness, and there's so much data research going left, right, and center. And so heaps of information, heaps of smart ideas. There's, a group over here that just work really damn hard. By the way, this is 240. Moved kind of all right today. I started off with the deadlifts. Then went back squat, front squat. I wasn't feeling all that flash, so it was kind of try to mix it up a little bit to keep it a bit fresher. So there's people who work really, really hard. There's people who, try and hit the books and, work out a smarter way of working. So they're kind of the smart, work out smart, not hard. The point is that, you think you're working hard until you see somebody who's working harder than you. And then you look at yourself and you're like, man, I'm not working hard enough. And then eventually you work out whether you're capable of pushing that needle to that level, or you just kind of drop off and that's the end of you. I will never forget the first time I heard about squat every day. Just picture this. I've come from a basketball world, and, we did whatever we did. It was skill-orientated training. And then you go into the gym and the guys is talking about the bro split. Okay, Mondays we do legs, Tuesdays we do chest, Wednesdays we do arms and shoulders, or whatever the splits were back then. And I mixed and matched whichever way, legs and shoulders on one day, back and biceps the next day, triceps and chest. I mixed and matched all the time, And then, so I'm just telling you my evolution as a thinker in this kind of space. And then I somehow discovered about these Bulgarians. I started learning about Olympic weightlifters, powerlifters, all these kind of big figures in the game. And then I heard about the Bulgarian system, Ivan Abajeev's system. Dude's been there for like 50 years, running the damn show. And wow, he's doing something completely different to anybody else that I've ever heard about. This guy's not only training every day, but he's doing it multiple times a day. It was literally, I've said this before about this moment in my life. It's like somebody took a bucket of cold water, icy water, and just dumped it on my head. I was like, what the hell is this, man? And then guys are like, and soon after you kind of learn that information, you kind of get told, oh, it's steroids. But then you kind of look very next page over and you look at freaking Ronnie Coleman winning all these damn Mr. Olympias, and Jay Cutler and Phil Heath and, all these guys, and they're not doing biceps every day. Why are these guys doing leg every day? And so then you start differentiating information into kind of several different boxes. Okay, so these guys are skill-orientated. These guys are mass-orientated. These guys are doing this and that, the other. And over time, you start to kind of, put these this information into certain boxes in your brain to kind of make sense of it, because that's what our brain does. Our brain likes to group things together so we can kind of familiarize ourselves with this information, make sense of it. It was a big moment in my life to kind of work out that there's some guy out there who's doing 20 sessions a week of squatting. It was a complete paradigm shift. Because over here, I've just come from the gym and the bloke's telling me he squats once a week and he does 5 sets of 5 once a week or whatever he was doing. And then he'll go over and go to leg press and put 5 tons on the leg press and do this. And I don't see him squatting 4 or 5 plates. Why are these guys squatting 6 plates? Eventually, there will be somebody else in the future who comes around and you're like, whoa. So this guy is doing what? I don't even know. I can't even think of an example. I want to say some guy's squatting 40 times. Or some guy, there's going to be a method that comes out of somewhere. Some guy kind of like me, maybe, or maybe the son of a guy like me who grows up in a household where somebody goes, okay, today we're going to squat up to 20%. We're going to do 20% of your max, and we're going to do it this way or that way, or whatever the method is. Someone's going to come out with some really weird shit, and we're all going to stand back and be like, you got strong by doing what? I'm just aware that the possibilities out there are endless. There are people out in this world who don't have a social media, who don't have a following, who don't have much attention on them, and they are making incredible progress doing something unique, doing something different. And eventually, we might learn of this. We might not. I'm sure there are some people in this world who are not going to the competitions, who are not on social media, and who are killers in the gym. Okay? They're just not interested in freaking showing off, showing their knowledge and engaging in the community. I remember stories about a guy that grew up kind of around LeBron James. He was kind of the same age. And apparently, so LeBron, we know who LeBron James is. He's like one of the best athletes, period, let alone basketballers. The guy's a gift, physical specimen, not just physically, but he's also a mental marvel. Never makes a mistake socially. He's always like the best citizen, like he's always doing the right stuff, never gets in trouble. And he's just a tireless worker. No matter how high he was, no matter how many praises he gets, he's still the hardest working guy in the gym. Like, this is one of the things I love about LeBron James, man. This guy is well fed, man. He's well fed. He has success everywhere. He's full of success. Yet he has that drive to go more, to do more. To me, that is inspirational. Somebody that's at the highest of the highs. For the last 10 years, LeBron's dominated this game. And you keep hearing these stories about a guy who continues to work harder and harder and harder. He's working harder than the guy who's trying to be on the come up. And then you see all these other guys around him, his maybe contemporaries, who are blowing their chances, because, now he's got this $40 million contract, there's girls everywhere, cars everywhere, houses everywhere, so many distractions, go on this holiday, go on that holiday, go on social media, just full distraction. Like he's going away from his craft because of these benefits that he's getting from the success. So that's LeBron James. I was hearing stories for a while now, you can look these things up, that there was a guy that was kind of in LeBron's kind of generation who was an incredible basketball player. Some say that he was even better than LeBron James. He was like this gun in high school, whatever. He was an absolute gun. But then he got caught up in gangs, violence, and went to jail, and basically no one ever knows anything about him. He's just one of those guys. So that's just one example. There are guys walking this earth who are freaks, whether it be physically or mentally or intellectually. They just know everything about this particular thing that we care about, but no one knows about them. And eventually, you need luck in life. In every genre, man. There's musicians out there. There's footballers out there who are probably just like world class, but no one's found them. You just need luck. You need the right opportunities in life, man. Like this is why, like a lot of these guys who make it to the top, it's not just this, beautiful athlete, work ethic, all of that. LeBron James needed some luck. That he didn't get shot while he was in the hood. That somebody didn't, hit him while he was driving a car. All that stuff. There's guys out there who are doing things that we don't know anything about. I'm always kind of aware of that. And that's one of the things that kind of motivates me to kind of step away from the norm. If you keep doing what people online are doing, you're always behind, man. You're always doing what somebody else is doing. Try and innovate. Try and do something that's different. But don't just try and be that guy that just does things differently. Actively engage psychologically into this craft and work things out yourself. Trial and error. Eventually, there might be a click in your head and you work something out, but you need to be involved all the time. Black screen. I'm going to end it there, and I won't torture you guys. I'll keep this thought for the next video. I wanted to say a few more things about being different, about working hard, about not being limited by your environment. That's a big thing for me. Try and go beyond your pond. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.